Hello and welcome to the second part of Elden Ring All Achievement Speedrun tutorial. On this part, I will try to explain the start of a run, how to get into that, and we'll discuss the first couple of segments. I entirely forgot to mention in the first part that if you need like any written notes or stuff like that for this run, they're made already, so if you want to check them out, I will also leave a link in the description, because it has pretty much all the like important notes that you will need to have just to memorize all the stuff. And also, really important part, you never want to launch Elden Ring with Steam, with the Steam launcher right here. You want to launch it either, not either, you just want to launch it from here. You go to the game and you launch it like this, and that's all. So obviously, yeah, you can make a shortcut for it and it will be perfect. Okay, so let's pretty much start. I'll try to turn timer also. I accidentally turned off my sound. Here we go. So what do you want to start with? You just obviously press the game, and now we will create our character, and our character of choice will be Samurai. Because of the one boss that we'll need to kill with bleed, and Uchi-Katana has bleed. So as a keepsake, we will choose Stone Sword Key. You will not get one but two of them, and in an entire run we will need 5 of them. Or not 5 actually, we will need 6. Yeah, we will need 6 of them, as far as I remember. No, I'm actually lying, it's 5, but yeah, we will buy 3 after that, and we will have 2 from here. And that's pretty much all. Now we can easily just start. So our first segment is a really long one. It's called Rune of Death, because obviously we will need to go to the Divine Tower, and Rune of Death is the item that you will need to give to Thea in order to fight Lich Dragon 40 sacks. But about that a bit later. So we start here, and once you see this item, you want to start running, and you want to change your left weapon to shield. So once you're running, when you pick up items, when you're holding block, you will skip the animation. And on each door, you obviously also want to quit out, because quitting out also saves the animation, and it saves your in-game time, because leaderboards are based on in-game time only. And by quitting out, you just skip animation, save your time, and all is good. So all we just want to do here is we want to change in our menu order of sorting methods, and we need to choose an order of acquisition here. We jump from this this place right here, and we need to die and trigger Grafted Cyan in order to progress through the tutorial as fast as we can. And time approximately should be something like 34-33 seconds. That would be good. We skip twice, get our flasks, walk on this grave, and again we just quit out. So nothing special here. I'll actually probably launch practice load real quick so we can skip a bit boring parts, because we will try to speed them up. I'll be trying to take quite of an optimized line, so also I would recommend copying them, because better lines you take, more time you will save in general, and that's obvious. Let's go on elevator. Open a door. We don't want to quit out here because it will be slower. And we need to take this first bonfire that is called the first step, because we will need it later. Then you want to jump right here approximately, so you will not take the slow fall, like so you will not have a cooldown while standing up. And we want to jump across this rock, jump on this one, and right here. And then you want to just run directly on north, I believe, something like that, approximately like this. And let's speed it up a bit. Here you don't want to pick up anything pretty much. All you want to do is just run, and that's all. Because our first step is Gatefront Grace, which we'll reach right now. We'll add this Grace. And we need to rest it to speak the first time to Melina. Skip all her dialogue. She'll give us a whistle.
It will summon torrent. Treat him with.
It looks a bit weird because my practice tool is open, so that's why the icon is changed. And then you want to go to the inventory and use it. And while being already on torrent, once you already charged, go and switch it to quick item, for example, or just manage it in your pouch. Doesn't really matter. Also, you want to charge all the time, but look for your stamina. You need to manage it. You can manage it by just switching your weapon. Also, we pick up one golden seed right here. You want to charge not as soon as you can, but once per maybe 2 seconds, something like that. That's quite optimal. We pick up Stormhill Shag Grace, and we will go to that later. First part will be quite chill. A bit, I would say, boring, because all we'll need to do is just pick up some graces, and obviously we will just speed it up, so you will not need to wait that much. So we pick up this passing, and our goal right here is this bridge. So what I want to do here is Pegasus glitch. And Pegasus glitch can be performed by doing this. You need to ride on horse. It's not needed to. You don't need to run it like run with that. You can just walk like this. And while walking, you need to dismount, so jump off the horse, but also during that, you need to quit out quite fast, like this. Not like this, of course, don't repeat this one. Like this, approximately. Now we go back to the game, and if you done everything correctly, horse will be here. That means that Pegasus setup is almost ready. All you need to do is just somehow kill this horse, because horse will appear on the place where you quit out. So for example, I mean where you appear. For example, you quit out right here, and horse will appear right next to you. So our goal right here is just to make the horse die here. And in this specific place, you want to somehow, while trying to set up Pegasus, you want to appear on this platform right here. So I'll try to perform that right now. Approximately like that. You want to dismount quite close to that, so you will appear on top here, so it will save your time. No, I did not, but it's okay. You can just jump on this left side. And to set up Pegasus right here, look for this line. I'm trying to show with a cursor. And just if you can hold Alt on your keyboard, or just move your stick slower and just walk off. Don't run, just walk off the edge like this. In my opinion, it's way easier to hold Alt on your keyboard because it will allow you just to walk off. But if you want to use only your stick, like feel free to do that. And if you've done everything correctly, as you can see, we can summon Spectral Steed Whistle, but by using our Flask of the Crimson Tears. So make sure if you're setting up Pegasus, that's what you need to remember. You need to have at least one charge of Estus Flask. So as you can see, we have only 2 now. But now we are able to summon Pegasus. Because after that, you just summon it and now you can fly. What's the troubleshooting with Pegasus? If you jump into nowhere, you will stuck into animation of infinite falling. I will show you how it looks a bit later. But it's not what you want, obviously, because animation on infinite falling will not save you. You will either die or you will need to quit out, and by quitting out you will not appear in the same place where you stuck. So just don't jump randomly. So what we need to do is just run forward. Use this grace right here. We don't need to jump or something like that to lower our height. We just take this grace and we go right here, approximately on north. And now all I want to do is to pop this balloon. Right, like that. Here we go. And we'll get Golden Rune 6. We'll need it for later. It's not mandatory. If you skip it, it's all good. But it's better to have it. So what I want to do is aim at this at this pillar right here in front of us. So we'll speed it up, not to wait. That's why pretty much you want to use practice tool to skip those boring parts. And make sure not to go too much to the right or tower will not load. As far as I know, at least. You just double jump right here. And go approximately like this. And now it should load the tower. Also make sure if you're performing double jump with Pegasus, you will not be able to do that for the second time. So only one double jump is available. Jumping like one time jumping, you can do how much you want. Then we just try to climb up with Pegasus. Like as you can see, I'm not pressing anything. I'm just holding my left stick. And here there is a place you want to look at this pointy rock approximately, and you will move approximately like probably like 2 times or 3 times. Oh, yeah, you can do that like in one move. Now we climb up and look up if it's not too high. As you can see, we are a bit higher here, but how to fix this situation? We just jump. And see, we already landed. And once you're landed, you can dismount. If you're mid-flight, you cannot dismount. But to perform that, as you can see, you just jump, lower your height a bit, and you're good to go. So pretty much we lower our heights, and by doing this, by jumping, we're lowering our heights, and by doing this, we're able to dismount. But once again, just be really careful with doing this, because sometimes it will not be enough and you can just easily stuck mid-fly, and it will not be good because infinite falling will just kill you eventually. Also, you want to mark this side of grace. You go to the your grace menu and you want to mark Stormhill Shack, because it will allow us to have an easier manning for roam warps, and roam warp is a really important part of this run. We'll do that several times, and it will allow us to save huge amount of time at certain places. That's pretty much how you trigger all endings that are needed for achievement in 3 hours approximately. So next up, we just pick up Curse Mark of Death and Stargazer Heirloom. So Curse Mark of Death is the item that we will need for Fia, and Stargazer Heirloom is pretty much a talisman that gives us 5 intelligence. But once you pick it up, you want to immediately just open your menu and go back to Liurnia or whatever you want. It can be, for example, Stormhill Shack Bonfire. And immediately rest here. And once you rest, Melina will appear again, and she will offer us to go to Round Table Grace. We skip all the dialogue and wait for the animation. So next step what we want to do here is, while appearing at Round Table Grace, and it will be actually our first achievement, we'll want to go and we'll want to rest at this bonfire right here. So here's our first achievement, but we go just forward and rest. And now about roam warp. So we can perform our roam warp right now. What you want to do to perform roam warp, you want to press Y, which is your pouch, and start activating Memory of Grace. Once you press yes here, you want to really fast go to your menu of bonfires and prepare to press this button. And as you probably remember, a Memory of Grace has a sound of something like a bell, And when you hear that this bell starts to fade away, you want to press OK. And if you perform everything correctly, you will see nothing. Like, it's hard to explain, but not from this Rome War, but you will see some sort of like a white screen or blue screen while you're already loaded, and you want to quit out once again. So we will perform direct Rome from here, from Round Table Grace, because it's faster, but I will show you a regular one as well. So what do is we prepare, and approximately like this. It should be definitely fine. And once it's loaded, as you can see, we're in an absolutely different place. It's not Round Table Grace, but it's right here. And why we're here? Because we will need to go to Purified Runes. Because our next step is Academy Key. In order to do that, we need to go to South Railcar Gate. And to make it faster, we just use a Rome Warp. But how you can perform it a bit maybe easier if you don't want to use this bonfire. You go to Rune Highway South. You need to rest, and that's really important. Just remember about that. If you want to have a good Rome Warp with a good amount of frames, so it will be quite easy, you want to either touch it for the first time, or you want to rest there if you already touched it before. And if you fail it, you want to rest there again. Only if you didn't touch it before. So if you touch it for the first time, and if you fail it by just not pressing early enough, you don't need to rest again, and you don't need to touch it again. But if you warp to Stormhill Shack, for example, you will need to touch it again. I mean, it sounds a bit maybe complicated, but I hope you understood that. So yeah. So what we want to do here, we want to rest, and there is a border of 2 Rome Warps, 2 locations right here, but in order to do our next Rome Warp, we can just make it right next to the Grace. So we just use it. And why did we mark Stormhill Shack Grace before? We go to the menu, but instead of looking for a Stormhill Shack among this bonfire somewhere. And why am I saying this? Because there will be lots of graces later, a lot. You just press W twice, like this, and you immediately go to Stormhill Shack. So pretty much here is the move. As you can see, it's really fast, and then you just prepare yourself, and we'll press it. So how it will look like. As you can see, no problems at all. And now, as you can see, there is nothing right here. You just need to quit out once again. And after this quit out, we will go back to the same place where we appeared earlier. So why did we do this Rome Warp from Round Table Grace? Because it's faster. It sounds like faster by 4 or 5 seconds if you perform it correctly from first try. And now we just ride our torrent right to this portal right here, and we go to South Railcar Gate. Once we load it right here, we need to take this Grace. And our next step, we will just ride torrent again. And we jump on this stone, like right there, and firstly to this part, to the left side. Want to go across those stones. There will be some flowers to the left which will be aggroing, but it's all good, they will not hit us, and even if you start wasting your stamina, it's all good. They will not aggro for a certain amount of time, so you will anyway go like really far from there. So as you can see, stamina started to consume, but as you can see, it's already over. We need to go to Temple Quarter, and here is the grace that we'll need to pick up for later. Because this grace will allow us to go closer to one of the bosses. And our next step is Academy Key finally, and that will be end of the second segment. We just go here, and as you can see, between those two stones, you can right between them. Go a bit to the left so you'll not touch the wing, and quit out once you'll be close to the academy key. Now you want to pick it up, open your menu, and warp back to South Rylcardia Gate. To make this move, open your menu and just press down, and you warp right to the South Rylcardia Gate. Here you just ride your horse, press charge once, and immediately dismount, and you will examine seal immediately. So our next step is we set up Pegasus again. Just prepare yourself that Pegasus and Rob Warp will be a really common sync in this run. And it will allow us to save lots of time. So what do we do now is we ride the horse again, dismount, and we take this grace. We will need it for later as well. Like, first part is just preparation. Now we go here, and we set up Pegasus again. So yeah, as I said, first part will be just preparational stuff, like we will pick up lots of graces, and we will try to make our build that allows us to melt bosses later. So we want to jump here, and instead of walking somehow off the ledge, we just do this. Just go against the wall, towards the wall, and after you start falling, just quit out. And you will appear right between those two pillars, right here. Thank you. And as you can see, a horse dies. We resummon it. And I want to go between this bridge, between those two pillars. And we turn to the right a bit. Approximately as this place. Now I want to go to the right side of this stone platform. Want to jump once on this wheel, and then we land right here. And now we can finally equip our Stargazer heirloom. Jump approximately once you see this fire. Block this charge. And die from her grab. And that's pretty much how you perform Volcano Manor warp. So everything was nice. And we split here. And now it's time for Volcano Manor. So pretty much here's Volcano Manor. We just jump, and if you hold block, you will always have no double baby jump. I mean, baby jump is a really short jump, but that sometimes happens. I don't know why. So if you want to make sure that you will not have it, just hold block, and you will never have it. Also, to restore your stamina, not like in other Souls games, you want to just a bit crouch like this, and as you can see, it restores quite a lot of stamina. Like in 2 crouches, it's just full stamina bar. We pick up Somber Smithing Stone 6. Also, we hold blocked while picking up stuff to skip the animation of picking up, because it will slow you down. And we go a bit to the right side, because this snake will notice you, as you can see. Because if you go a bit to the right side, you will never get caught by this snake. Now, once you go, it doesn't really matter if you go naked or not, but you need any rope that you can look for. And on Samurai armor there is a rope. We pick up also Somber Smithing Stone 5. We go from the right side of this guy, of course. And we prepare our quit out right here. We enter the boss area. Once he appears, we just quit out immediately. So why did I say about rope? You want to look at the rope right now, and I'll show you how. So we'll do right now Godskin AI freeze, and to perform that, you want to go really close. There is another way of doing this. You want to go as close as you can to the fog wall. Backstab, wait until the end of the animation, of backstab, and then just hit with your left fist, as far as I remember. But I just do this. You just hold Alt and like go like this. And if you see that you can traverse the mist, you need to be you need to go straight forward, not diagonally. You will encounter the fight, but you will not trigger boss. So all be good. And you want to have any ropes. As you can see from the backside of the characters, for example, Bra, you can see the rope, and it will start waving once we enter the fog wall. And I usually count approximately for 2.5 or 3 waves. So just try to look at. So I just go like this. 1, 2, 3. And you just go to the left, and here you go. There is an AI freeze. And like it works for me all the time. So fastest way of killing Godskin Noble is two-handed Uchikatana. And instead of doing this, 5 times combo like this. It's faster to do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, block. 1, 2, 3, 4, and not this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. As you can see, it's a bit faster because the fifth hit animation is really long. And also, you will get 2 staggers during this fight. Not to have a repost, because repost is slow. You want to also turn from Godskin Noble and then start your attack like this, approximately. So I'll show you how it works approximately. So we start with 2 hits. Then we block. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. As you can see, I turn around from him all the time. You don't need to do that every time, but you just don't want to trigger a repose. And no problems at all. We unequipped Uchikatana, and approximately it's those newspapers you can see, or not newspapers, whatever, this paper, the grace will appear. We'll need to take this grace, and we got lots of souls from Godskin Noble, so we level up our souls, our vigor right here up to 21, and intelligence up to 19, so it's pretty much perfect stats. Because later after Rykert we'll need to only level up our fate to 24 in order to equip Sword of Flame. And as you remember, we have a Stargazer Heirloom, which gives us 5 intelligence, so 19 plus 5 is 24 as well. And 21 vigor just to maximize it, just to make Rykert quite comfy fight. So we just spend all of the runes, and we just go right here. And why did we rest on this bonfire as well? Because it will allow us to make a wrong warp again, but this time closer to Rykert. Instead of going elevator behind us, because it's slower, and we'll also need to pick up one of the stuff that allows us to deal insane amount of damage. We go right here on this bridge. Oh, okay. That was quite funny. And you want to jump on the last of this, whatever it is, like stone textures, and you want to jump on it and jump immediately after. Like I jumped a bit late, so something like a bunny hop, you know. And then jump third time, and once you see that you're going lower, jump again and pick up Somber Smith in stone 7. You can also hold the block during those jumps, like as I was doing, so it will allow you to make long jumps and also skip the animation. And once you're running right next to the right towards the RKR, approximately closer to this door, quit out. Because in order to perform Roam Warp, you will need to have no enemies, or otherwise you will not be able to warp and open your menu of graces. So we'll need to quit out here to the aggro enemies. Here's the Royal Knight's Resolve, and now we do Roam Warp again. And we quit out right now. That means Roam Warp was nice. So I think we can end our first part right here. On next part we will discuss Rykert's fight and pretty much Sword Knight Flame segment, and then finishing the builds of our run. So yeah, good luck with the runs, and I'll see you on next part.